Now, how we can correct the cortisol control or the cortisol rhythm is through the health of your adrenal glands. So we have to heal your adrenal glands, or cortisol can't get fixed. A lot of people hear this and they're like, okay, well, how can I lower my cortisol? Well, the answer to lowering your cortisol is fixing your adrenals, because most likely your adrenals are shot. And we have to correct it from the inside out. Everything that we do in order to get you to lose weight is going to have to be from the inside out, because we don't really look at it as let's lose weight to get healthy. You're going to have to get healthy to lose weight. And you're not going to do that unless you're in homeostasis, meaning everything is even. All right. So how do we heal your adrenal glands? We're going to look at some nutrition and supplementation recommendations to do that. Nutrition-wise, what we're going to want to do is go to a 30% protein diet. That's going to be the recommendation of it, from animal-based proteins. All right. An animal-based protein is chicken, fish, eggs, tuna, ham, turkey, cottage cheese, yogurt, anything you can think of coming from an animal. All right. Rather than, let's say, a bar or a shake or something. And those aren't bad. I'm not telling you should never eat a bar, you should never eat a shake. It's just as much from animal protein as possible. The reason for that is animal proteins have an amino acid in them. First off, amino acids are what make proteins, but it has an amino acid in it called tryptophan. Tryptophan makes another hormone in the pineal gland in your brain called melatonin, which I'm sure you've heard of. And melatonin gets you to go asleep and stay asleep, which is great, because the two biggest ways to heal your adrenals, which again pump out that cortisol hormone, is through resting them and feeding them. So if we want to fix them, there's no magic pill. There's some stuff you can take, and we're going to look at supplementation next, but you're going to have to rest your adrenals with 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night, on a goal of sleeping from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. because that's when your body goes through the full healing cycle. That's the goal. It's probably not going to happen, but that's the goal. But when we produce more melatonin from those animal-based proteins, we get more of a signal to heal the adrenal glands. Melatonin heals the adrenal glands, all right? Now, also what you'll look at is you're going to look at increasing your fresh or frozen fruits and vegetables, because you want to get a lot of antioxidants in them. Antioxidants neutralize the free radicals in your body, which are cells without an electronic charge that try to go to other cells and steal their electronic charge. All right, and I mean, you don't really need to know that, but that's what they are. And when you neutralize those, there's less stress on your body. All right. Now, the first two things we've talked about are about keeping your body in homeostasis, not putting any stress on your body, producing melatonin, neutralizing free radicals. Why? Because when we go back to the very beginning, cortisol prevents the hippocampus from getting the signals, and it prevents the the pituitary gland. I'm sorry, I was flaking out there for a second. It prevents the pituitary gland from managing those signals that it gets from the hippocampus and balancing everything out. So the better of homeostasis that you're in, the more weight you'll lose. And if your body's in homeostasis, you're going to lose a ton of weight. I mean, a lot of people will say, well, I heard on TV that you're not supposed to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. More than 1 to 2 pounds a week. And I mean, I'm not saying everybody's going to lose 20 pounds in a week, but if you lose an insane amount of weight and your body's in a homeostasis point, you're not starving your body, or you're not working out 3 hours a day or anything, then why not? If you're losing weight because you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night, you're balancing cortisol levels, your hormones are optimally functioning, and you're not starving your body, and you're not doing an insane amount of workouts, why can't you lose 6 pounds in a week? I have clients that lose 6 pounds in a week, not because my workouts are amazing and I'm the best personal trainer ever. It's because we look from the inside out and we balance out their hormones, and we do blood work and we do lab testing, and we say, okay, if you want to lose weight, it's not about exercise anymore. It's about, okay, how can we get you going from the inside out? Because remember, you don't lose weight to get healthy, you get healthy to lose weight. Now, again, going back to how to heal the adrenal glands that pump out that cortisol, you will want to decrease simple sugars. This increases oxidative stress, and it will release more cortisol. So the more sugars you put in your food, whether it's natural or not natural or added, whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll dive into sugar in the future PowerPoints. It doesn't matter. Now, I know you're going to hate me for this one, but lower your caffeine intake. Remember, first off, caffeine is a diuretic. It's going to have you pee free water, all right? Now, one of the hormones that is produced from your adrenal glands that we didn't even talk about regulates your potassium levels and how much water is going in and out of your kidneys. So you're going to damage your adrenal glands even more. You're going to dehydrate your body, so your adrenal glands have to work harder. Anytime your body has to work harder, it needs more energy. Anytime it needs more energy, it produces more cortisol. All right. So if you take in caffeine, on average, it goes up 20% per 100 milligrams. So you're storing 20% more fat for every 100 milligrams you have. So when you go get a coffee with a shot of espresso, or you go get a latte, and you're having 400 milligrams of caffeine, or you're taking a thermogenic or something like that, which is like those pills that make you lose weight, you're stimulating your heart rate and you're stimulating metabolism. But how come everybody on thermogenics has really skinny arms and legs, but they store a lot of fat right here in the midsection? Because cortisol. And I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people do. I see a lot of people with that problem. They can't lose that belly. Well, all the stimulants like that are producing more and more cortisol, just like caffeine, storing tons of belly fat. And you also want to limit Celtic or Himalayan sea salt under 140 milligrams as well. Now we're going to look at some nutrition recommendations. All right, nutrition is about 80% of your success. I want to burn it into your brain that if it was as easy as just eat less and exercise more, I wouldn't have a job. All right, it is not that easy. So a couple supplements we're going to look at. Now keep in mind, supplements are going to be based off of your results from your lab testing. So if you're watching this video and you're not a member at Lifetime Fitness, again, look me up at facebook.com/Bodies by Mitch and send me a message, all right? Because you don't have to be a member to get this testing done. It is covered by your Flex Savings account and Health Spending account if you have that, or you can pay for it out of pocket, whatever you want to do. But we do a stress and resilience test. That's the name of it. And we test your cortisol in your saliva, via saliva, 4 times throughout the day. All right. And we see the highs and lows. Are you in adrenal fatigue? We see your DHEA, which is the building block of all your sex hormones. And you might hear that and say, oh, my libido's fine. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. Sex hormones are any secondary hormone. So testosterone, estrogen, anything that's going to be a stimulant is going to be in that block, all right? So any secondary hormone. Then we're going to see, with that, you're going to get a meeting with myself and our dietitian and stuff to go over it and say, okay, here's where you are. Here's the plan of action going forward, all right? And if you shoot me a message at facebook.com/Bodies by Mitch, I can get you all set up on anything you need. We'll ship it to you, and you'll just spit into the tubes, all right? But you'll typically, first off, your supplements, before I even talk about the type of supplement that you'll take, make sure, and I'm just going into this for those of you guys that aren't members at Lifetime Fitness, you'll want to look up Douglas Labs. I don't make any money from Douglas Labs. Douglas Labs does not pay me a dime, all right? But they are one of them, and Thorne and a couple other products are some of the best you can get because they're pharmaceutical grade. There's no governing body for supplements. That's why you can get things like ephedra or HGH, which is the pregnancy hormone that people are injecting into their body to try to get them to lose weight. I mean, crazy stuff like that. That's why it can get approved, because there's no governing body. They don't have to prove, like prescription medications, that it works and it's not dangerous. There's very minimal recommendations. So when you look at some supplements out there like Muscle Milk, which is the highest lead content protein that you can buy, or you look at Centrum One-A-Days that have a 30% absorption rate, and there's studies of people taking the supplement, take an x-ray of their stomach, 8 hours later they take an x-ray and it's still there. I mean, the absorption rate is so minimal. A lot of them are held together with bonds of casein, which is the same bond used in glue and plastic, that it's not going to break down in your body. You can take that stuff, put it in vinegar to stimulate stomach acid, and you can do your, Costco multivitamin, Centrum One-A-Day, whatever you want to use, and put it in there and watch it not dissolve, and it will just sit there. This is Douglas Labs, Thorne, a couple other brands we'll talk about. These are some of the best brands that you can purchase from. and they guarantee a 95% absorption rate because they're GMP